Hello guys, Christian here. Today I will show you the new version of CAMWorks, CAMWorks 19. Also on the website of CAMWorks you will find today the new SP1 of CAMWorks. But today I want to talk about the general enhancements in CAMWorks 19. So from 19 version, CAMWorks have the ability to add an additive manufacturing module for all licenses. Also, general enhancements are available in milling for, let's say, for curve features, for contain and avoid area, multi-axis, new method for swarf milling, and also new enhancements are available for mill turn and turn, a new module for tolerance-based machining, and a few enhancements for technology database. I will start and show you some enhancements I think they are important. First, in the beginning, CAMWorks 19 supported solid modelers platform are SolidWorks 18 version and of course SolidWorks 19 version. So from CAMWorks 19, it's available additive manufacturing module. You will also have some post-processor that are already in CAMWorks. I will prepare a separate video for this. I just want to show you that I just want to tell you that the additive manufacturing module is introduced in CAMWorks 19 and support structures to print 3D models, but only for metal. All metal printing technologies use support structures to keep the part models fixed to a build plate during the printing process. You can use this structure to define as, let's say, as a raw material in CAMWorks. The new additive manufacturing module comes with a processor manager, and in this build processor manager you will configure your machine. Also, there are some demo versions of post-processor, but as I told you earlier, I will show you later in another video how you configure the additive manufacturing machine. Just for a quick view, this is a milling part, but right now when you choose the machine in CAMWorks, you will have this additive manufacturing machine. When you select it, you will need a license for this this module, this additive manufacturing module. Another information, the new additive manufacturing module in CAMWorks is powered by Materialize, and I will show you right now. As you can see the structure already defined in CAMWorks for 3D printing. This is a new enhancements. The additive manufacturing is growing in the market, and I'm excited that CAMWorks partnership with Materialize and introduce this new module in CAMWorks. Another another group of enhancements are in the new version are for the curve feature in CAMWorks. In the older version of CAMWorks, you can use curve features, let's say, for complex curve, and you will not have the ability when you define a curve feature to use in contour milling the chamfer machining. The CNC compensation options are disabled, and you have some restriction in lead in, lead out. For the new version, you will have all these options available. So when you define, I will come back to a mill machine. So when you define a curve feature in CAMWorks, let's say, let's try this one. I will generate an operation plan, and now I will edit this contour mill. Okay, so as you can see in the contour mill, you will have now the ability to use the chamfer machining. All the options are the same, like let's say on contouring for an open profile, but also you will have this avoid allowance option. When what is about this avoid allowance parameter? When the curve feature consists of multiple segments, then only the segment which are an angle lesser than the tip angle of the tool will be machined. This is a new and great enhancements for curve features in CAMWorks, because this is good for let's say uh, when you want to machine a pocket like this one, which has a lower bottom than the first one. So right now you have this ability to use the chamfer machining, just like, of course, you will need to change the tool. Let's change the tool, find the countersink, for example. Okay, and right now I choose a tool. I have the chamfer machining for this curve. Change the length, and right now I have this chamfer machining for curve features. Okay, you also use for, in my example, you can use also an open profile feature for this type of example. To come back to curve feature, a new enhancement is in NC tab. The CNC operation are available for this feature. Right now, you in the older version, all these parameters are switched off. Right now, because of the tool, I have the only the tool path center with and without, and if I switch the tool, let's say for a flat end tool, a flat end tapered, let's say this one, for example, yes, the chamfer machining, okay, disable, and right now I have CNC compensation on and off, and tool path center with and without. Uh, in the when I use a countersink, the CNC compensation are off because this is the normal way, a logical way to use it, and only the toolpath center with and without are available. So from the 19 version, the new features are available. Uh, there are new enhancements for a curve feature. Also, because of the curve feature, there is a lot of enhancement when they are using a 3-axis curve project operation, because from CAMWorks 19 version, the command to invoke add curve or engrave feature dialog box, it's available directly in a curve project tab in a curve project operation. And this is it is a much easier way to handle the curve feature and curve feature operation. Some of you may say this is a little enhancement, but for a new user, what I will present you is a great one. So I will define this pocket, generate a rough mill for this operation, and I will insert an avoid area like this and regenerate everything. Let's add some height for this and regenerate again. Right now I have the ability to display the contain area and avoid area in a graphic area, as you can see right now here. And it's easier for a user to see which are the avoid and contain area directly in a graphic area. Until in the older versions, this option is not available, and in my opinion, this is a great way to improve the workflow in CAMWorks. Also, as you can see in the contour mill, this is a great one. In the feeds and speeds tab, CAMWorks in 19 introduced this two new areas which controls the feeds for sharp corner. You have enable corner slowdown, and also an arc feed rate override. And right now you can optimize your toolpath the toolpath feed rate according to sharp corners and when you have arcs, because you can use for sharp corners a slower feed rate, and also in this case where my mouse right now is, when the cursor is, you have an arc, when we have an arc to machine, and also here you can override the calculated general feed rate calculated by CAMWorks. For me, this is a great one because I was expecting these new options for a long time. Okay, right now another great enhancement, it's about the features that are automatically recognized by CAMWorks. I will come back to CAMWorks feature tree and run extract machinable features. Right now I will have several parts, and let's say for this rectangular pocket I have the ability to move it. So this is another great enhancement, because you can move it around, of course, according to the coordinate system. You can move it. This is a great enhancement regarding the tolerances of the in my opinion, of course, of this pocket. You can move it. Right now you don't need to modify the 3D model. I know what the competition is on the market, and trust me, if you have some tight tolerances, you have two options to use: some sketches and to modify the 3D model. In CAMWorks, you have two options, and never modify the 3D model. Tolerance-based machining, the first options, and the second one, you can, from some cases, to use this move option in the features of CAMWorks, because CAMWorks is a feature-based CAM software. So right now I just move it around this pocket. If I have, if I made a mistake, reset to 0, and then let's say move it from 0.1, and okay, and regenerate everything. When you move it, the icon change a little bit. You will see when you try on your computer. This functionality to move mill features, it's also a great enhancement if you ask me. So also regarding the automatic feature recognition for holes, you have the possibility right now to edit and condition. And this is, trust me, a good one, because when you are working with SolidWorks models, this automatic feature recognition runs 90% very good. But when you work with imported models, Some of the features that are recognized, I'm talking right now only of holes. Sometimes they are recognized okay, but sometimes you had some imported model, let's say errors, and you will need these functions to edit and condition for holes. And right now you just right click, edit and condition, and right now you have the ability to define a new end condition for this group of holes in my case. So if you ask me, the automatic feature recognition in CAMWorks becomes more and more powerful in the CAMWorks. Okay, let's run this technology operation. Okay, this is, I have an error because the tool might gauge the part, but what I want to show you, in the older versions you have the edit toolpath function, which is a great one, but right now you have an improved methodology to for edit toolpath in milling, which is advanced mill toolpath editor. Right now you have this new option, basically advanced edit toolpath. It's like the edit toolpath in older versions, but the methodology it's improved because you have this selection method with which is a window selection between two rapid moves and so on, and you will have this ability to edit toolpath much easier if you ask me. But the main options to modify or edit, it's just like in edit toolpath in older version of CAMWorks. Okay, to continue for this new enhancements, show you right now. Just a moment. Okay, so another great enhancement. I was also very happy about this new enhancement. It's a new 5-axis toolpath which is called swarf milling. So when you define a multi-axis feature like this is let's say an impeller, this is a blade. I define the blade, this one, this is the multi-surface feature defined by me, this one. I generated a multi-axis operation. Of course, in 5-axis it is available. And right now in pattern, you have the ability to, as a method, to check and to use this swarf milling. You have the guide curves, the upper one and the lower. And of course, you can use as let's say just like a void surface, this floor clearance surface, and the result is like this, just shown on the graphic area, and the toolpath will be like this. This swarf milling, it's more or less the same between two curves multi-axis operation, but this is a much improved solution for this type of milling. Let's say for this impeller, this is a great one. So when you have a 5-axis part, just try this new enhanced and good toolpath, which is called swarf milling. Okay, let's try and use another good and open the last one, another great enhancement for me, and I hope you will find it also very useful. I will define area clearance, generate an area clearance for all part. I just want to show you something which is called option to define rest machining model as an offset model of the part. So in this case, area clearance in a rest tab, you will see right now you will have the current part, method, option, and you will now have an offset model for defining as a rest machining. So this is a great enhancement because when you have complex part, you can rough it with an area clearance quickly, and then with a tool with a lower diameter, you can define also an area clearance with rest machining options. And right now you have this method to define the raw material, the stock, as an offset of the current part with 0.1 millimeter or 0.2 and so on. So this is a great enhancement because when you're machining a part, you can create a working piece model at the operation level by giving an offset to the target part. Machining a working piece model created by offset the target part will help in reducing the unwanted toolpath moves, which may get generated due to the computation limits or other rest machining method types. In my opinion, this is the best rest machining method you can use in CAMWorks. If you ask me, you just need to try it. Another good enhancement is for 3-axis volume mill toolpath. You have the ability to use a new function which is called holder avoidance. Right now, you will you will have a new option which is called holder avoidance. You will just need to enable. Just click enable. Also for volume mill, let's try for this, and I will show you where the new function is. Volume mill. Okay, the volume mill technology expert, and right now you have a new method for volume mill calculation, which is called you have the milling type direction control. You have the ability to use zigzag, and also for volume mill I told you about it, you have this holder avoidance enabled for this new toolpath. This is the new volume mill operation generated using the new holder avoidance. I just want to switch back to 2.5 axis enhancements. Right now, you have the ability to use long code for point-to-point operation. This is directly related to the post processor, of course. So in previous version of CAMWorks, for all point-to-point operation like drill, center drill, rim, and so on, the G code was output using canned cycles. So there was no option in CAMWorks user interface to output the G code without the canned cycles. For the 19 version, you have the ability to use canned cycle output because you have a new option, a new checkbox with which you'll have canned cycle output. This is the operation, and if you will not check it, you will have a new variable in a post processor which is called allow long code drilling cycle, which you have to set it by true, and you will have code point-to-point operation generated in CAMWorks, and in some cases this is some users might find it useful. Also, you have a new enhancement for multi-step hall operation. Right now, you will have a new functionality to define multi-step hall configuration based on a number of and type of steps. Maybe some users will find also this useful. For milling, 2.5, 3, and 5 axis, this is the general enhancement in CAMWorks. Right now I will move on and switch to turning. Let's say for turning, another good enhancement is a new cut type for simultaneous turning in turn, of course, and mill turn, whereby two tools will be cutting the same turn feature at the same time with double feed rate. This is called pinch machining. So pinch machining in CAMWorks has been introduced for turn rough, turn finish, groove rough, and groove finish. I will define right now. You can see define an OD feature and in turn operation. Right now you have simultaneous pinch machining option. You have tool 1, tool 2, and right now if I run the simulation, it goes like this. So this option, when you will try it, will help the user to machine on, let's say, a turn OD feature by using two tools on opposite turrets at the same time. The user can assign the tool as a primary tool to generate the toolpath and another one, a different one for the secondary tool to gauge check the toolpath. Using two tools to machine the part model at the same time help you double the feed rate, and of course significantly reduces the machining time for your parts. First was for me was the soft machining, and then the enhancement for the curve features, and right now I was expecting this for a long time, this pinch turning, because I have a lot of requests regarding this option for from my prospects. Also for turn toolpath, you have the collision to check in y-axis. Maybe some of you will find this option. You will have these new options in advanced tab of your turn operation. You have avoidance in y-axis. Right now in tool crib, you have the multi-turret turn and multi-turn machines are now supported, because this allows the user to define and use tools that are supported up to 4 turrets. So from the new versions of CAMWorks, multi-turret machines are supported, and the options are just in the tool crib, of course, and you will have I'm sorry, up to 4 tool cribs in this example. You have rear turret 1, 2, front turret 1 and 2, of course. So to move on with the enhancements, and of course for this I will try and do another video, which is the new CAMWorks tolerance-based machining. From these new versions of new version of CAMWorks, you will have a new tolerance-based machining interface. I will show you in another video, but right now, a good thing is right now CAMWorks tolerance-based machining is introduced in the original installer of CAMWorks. It's not an add-on, and besides this, there are a new enhancement introduced in in this new version of tolerance-based machining, and the most important, you will have tolerance-based machining for turn and mill turn, as you can see here. Tolerance range, you have the ISO 286 for milling, and you have also the symbol for straightness that they are also recognized in the new CAMWorks tolerance-based machining. In my opinion, I will say this tolerance-based machining, it's the version 2. It's much more improved for all features. I will remind you that tolerance-based machining, it's running or with the license of Solidors or CAMWorks Solids a license full, because you will need the DIM expert from Solidors, also from, of course, for CAMWorks Solids. And right now, there are a few enhancements also in the new technology database. I will give you, I don't know if you know this information, but from 19 version of CAMWorks, you will have only the ability to use the new TechDB application. The older MX Microsoft Access will not be supported. You can also, of course, import what you did in the older versions, but from the 19 versions, we will only work with this application, and you can assign in this technology database the default values and settings for advanced 3-axis toolpath generated method. This is one enhancement. For, of course, for turret selection in turning, you have the ability to define it in for turn features in CAMWorks. And just this is a quick review of all enhancements in CAMWorks 19. What can I say? For me, this is a step forward in a new direction with the new additive manufacturing, the swarf milling, the pinch turning, and I will advise you to use this new version. Of course, you have my YouTube channel and my LinkedIn profile. If you have some questions, I will happy to answer you. And until the next video, I'm waiting for your comments and questions, and I don't know, suggestions for new videos. So thank you very much for watching this video with me. Bye.